You ever walk into an old house and just feel like you've stepped back in time? Maybe it's the smell of wood paneling or the way the light hits a pink-tiled bathroom. The 1950s were full of these little home features, not just practical stuff, but things that really gave a house its heart. Back then, homes were built with charm in every corner. There were special nooks for phones, little doors just for milk, and cozy rooms full of color and personality. A lot of those things have quietly disappeared, replaced by sleek, modern designs that just don't have the same warmth. So today, we're rewinding the clock to look at 10 home features from the 1950s that you just don't see anymore. Let's take a walk through the past. 1. The milk chute. Back in the day, your milk didn't come in a plastic jug from the store. It came in glass bottles, delivered right to your door. And many houses had a special little door built into the wall, the milk chute. The milkman would open the outside latch, drop in the bottles, and you'd open the inside to grab them, still cold. It was simple, quiet, and kind of brilliant. But when home delivery started fading in the 60s and 70s, so did these tiny doors. Now, most of them are sealed up or hidden behind drywall. 2. Pink bathrooms everywhere. If your grandma had a pink bathroom, you're not alone. In the 50s, pink was the color, thanks in part to First Lady Mamie Eisenhower, who loved it so much they called it Mamie Pink. Tubs, sinks, tiles, sometimes even the toilet, all decked out in soft pastel shades. It made bathrooms feel cheerful and warm. These days, everyone wants whites and grays, but there was something sweet about all that color. 3. The built-in ironing board. There was a time when people ironed almost everything, and instead of dragging out a wobbly metal board from a closet, 1950s homes often had a fold-down ironing board built right into the wall. Open a little cabinet, and there it was, ready to go. It made chores feel a bit more organized, and it just looked tidy. Over time, though, as low-maintenance fabrics took over and laundry rooms moved out of sight, these clever features disappeared. 4. The telephone niche. Before cell phones, heck, before cordless phones, there was the phone, usually rotary, maybe wall-mounted, and always in the same place. Homes had little cutouts in the wall called telephone niches, just big enough for the phone and a notepad. It was where you stood to make a call, wrap the cord around your finger, and talk for hours, usually in full earshot of your entire family. Now that we carry our phones in our pockets, that kind of shared space just doesn't exist anymore. Tommy, dinner's ready. In some 1950s homes, Mom didn't have to shout. She just pressed a button and used the built-in intercom. These systems were kind of a big deal back then, especially in larger homes. Some were wired between rooms, others even reached the front door. It felt modern, like something out of a sci-fi movie. But as layouts opened up and technology moved forward, those little boxes became silent and mostly forgotten. Long before dryers took over, laundry dried under the sun. Most backyards had a clothesline, sometimes 2 or 3, where shirts and sheets flapped in the breeze. The smell of sun-dried laundry? You can't bottle that. It was a daily ritual, part of the rhythm of home life. But zoning rules, changing weather, and convenience slowly pushed it out. Now, the clothesline is more memory than routine. 7. Dutch doors. These half doors were both smart and charming. The top half opened like a window, letting in fresh air, while the bottom half stayed closed, keeping kids or pets inside. Dutch doors were especially common in kitchens or back entries. They had the storybook charm, and they just felt friendly. Today, they're mostly found in farmhouse-style renovations, but once upon a time, they were everywhere. 8. The TV as furniture. In the 1950s, the television wasn't just a screen. It was a piece of the living room. TVs came in big, beautiful wood cabinets, often with space for a record player or radio, too. They were heavy, expensive, and you only had one, so the whole family gathered around it. Watching Ed Sullivan or the Honeymooners felt like an event. Now TVs are thin and mounted on the wall, but they used to be the centerpiece of the home. 9. Wood paneling everywhere. From the den to the basement, homes in the 50s loved their wood paneling. It gave rooms a warm, cozy feeling, like a lodge or cabin, even in the suburbs. Sure, some of it looked a little dark, especially when trends shifted later. But for a long time, those paneled walls made houses feel lived in. Today, most of it's been painted over or removed, but it still brings back that mid-century vibe the second you see it. Number 10. Room dividers and decorative screens. Before open floor plans were the norm, rooms were more defined, but not always by full walls. Many homes used half walls, iron scroll work, or decorative screens to divide space while keeping it open. It was a stylish way to say, this is the living room, and that's the dining room, without closing anything off. These little touches made homes feel thoughtfully designed, not just built. Over time, though, they were removed in favor of wide, open spaces, and a little of that character went with them. It's funny, isn't it? How something as small as a phone niche or a pink tile can bring back a flood of memories. Homes back then were built with more than just bricks and boards. They were filled with personality, charm, and the little things that made life special. Which of these do you remember? Or maybe you still have one in your home today. We'd love to hear your stories. Drop a comment down below. And if this video brought back some memories, go ahead and like, subscribe, and click that little bell so you don't miss the next trip back in time. Thanks for watching. See you in the next Rewind.